How many Lego heads to fill an Olympic-sized swimming pool? Stick around to the end. This one dives deep into the plastic chaos. You're standing at the edge of an Olympic swimming pool. Not to swim, not to race, but to ask the most unnecessary question ever created by the human brain. How many Lego heads would it take to fill this entire thing? Because let's face it, chlorine is out, and Lego head soup is in. Let's break it down. An Olympic pool is 50 meters long, 25 meters wide, and 2 meters deep. That gives us a volume of 2,500 cubic meters, or 2.5 million liters of pure, unfiltered, hypothetical mayhem. Now, your average Lego head is a tiny cylinder, about 1 centimeter tall and 1 centimeter in diameter. That gives it a volume of roughly 0.79 cubic centimeters. But here's the twist. Lego heads aren't perfectly stackable like bricks. When you dump a bunch into a space, they'll fall in all messy and disorganized, like your sock drawer. So we have to factor in packing efficiency. In real-world terms, randomly packed cylinders only fill about 64% of the total volume. So we crunch the numbers. After accounting for that wasted airspace between heads, you'd need about 2.04 billion Lego heads. That's right, 2.04 billion tiny yellow skulls bobbing around in your Olympic pool. Enough to recreate a Lego apocalypse. Enough to make every minifig on Earth very, very bald. Now imagine diving in. You'd hit the surface and immediately bounce like a rubber ball. You couldn't swim, you just awkwardly wriggle through a sea of expressionless yellow smiles. So there you have it, 2.04 billion Lego heads to fill an Olympic-sized pool, factoring in air gaps, math, and a total disregard for normal pool etiquette.
How many Lego heads would it take to fill a bathtub? Stick around for the most unsettling soak in brick history. Alright, picture this. You're standing in your bathroom, staring at your tub. But instead of bubble bath and relaxation, you have a much weirder idea. What if I filled this thing with nothing but Lego heads? Let's break this down, one wide-eyed stare at a time. A standard bathtub holds about 300 liters of water. That's a lot of room for a normal bath. But now it's a Lego head arena. Now let's talk about a single Lego head. Each one is roughly 1 centimeter in diameter and 1 centimeter tall, making it basically a tiny yellow cylinder of existential dread. That comes out to about 3.14 cubic centimeters, or 0.000000314 cubic meters per head. But here's the catch, they don't pack perfectly. Tiny plastic faces leave tiny plastic gaps. So we'll go with a 60% packing efficiency, which is what you'd expect when dumping a pile of roundish objects into a tub. Now for the math. Multiply the bathtub's volume by 60%, then divide by the volume of one Lego head, and you get 229,183 Lego heads. That's right, over 229,000 of those little grinning noggins, just to fill your bathtub. For perspective, that's more heads than populate a mid-sized Lego city several times over. If you stacked them, you'd have a Lego head tower taller than the Empire State Building. And if they all had different faces, welcome to your new recurring nightmare. Now this assumes no water, no rubber duck, and that you're okay being stared at by 200,000 tiny eyes. So unless you've got industrial Lego access, a serious minifig obsession, and nerves of steel, this is one bath that's probably better imagined than attempted. But hey, now you've got a party fact guaranteed to make people blink. How many Lego heads to fill a standard school locker? Stick around to the end for the absurdly academic answer. So it's your average school day. You swing open your locker, and instead of textbooks, gym clothes, or that one sandwich you forgot back in October, you imagine it completely packed with Lego heads. Why? Because nothing says academic success like a tsunami of tiny yellow noggins. Let's get to the math class they should be teaching. A standard school locker is about 12 inches wide, 18 inches deep, and 72 inches tall. That gives us a total volume of 15,552 cubic inches. Now, your classic Lego minifigure head is basically a tiny cylinder, 1 centimeter tall and about 1 centimeter in diameter. That's a volume of approximately 0.94 cubic centimeters per head. Convert that to inches, because we're playing by locker rules here. And that's about 0.057 cubic inches per head. Now it's time to cram in the numbers. Take your 15,552 cubic inches of locker space, divide it by 0.057 cubic inches per Lego head, and you get a jaw-dropping 273,719 Lego heads. That's right, over 250,000 smiling, eyeless plastic faces jammed into a single locker. If that's not a new definition of locker panic, I don't know what is. Imagine opening your locker and unleashing a Lego head avalanche that sweeps through the hallway, trapping your math teacher and at least 3 saxophones from the band room. So the next time someone says your locker is messy, just remember, it could be holding 273,000 Lego heads instead. How many Lego heads to fill the interior of a Tesla Model 3? Stick around to the end for the most unnecessary car mod ever calculated. So you're sitting in your sleek, eco-friendly future mobile, the Tesla Model 3. Smooth curves, minimalist interior, and 0 emissions. But as you glance around at the plush seats and massive touchscreen, one thought takes the wheel. What if I filled this entire car with Lego heads? Yes, the small yellow noggins of plastic society. Let's hit the accelerator on this one. The total interior volume of a Tesla Model 3 is around 112 cubic feet. That includes passenger and cargo space, because we're going full Lego here. No glove compartment gets left behind. Now, your average Lego minifig head is a tiny plastic cylinder. It's about 1.0 centimeters in diameter and 1.2 centimeters tall, giving it a volume of around 0.94 cubic centimeters. Let's convert that to cubic feet, since the Tesla isn't measured in millimeters. There are 28,316.8 cubic centimeters in a cubic foot, which means each Lego head takes up about 0.000000332 cubic feet. Now buckle up. Take 112 cubic feet of Tesla interior, divide it by 0.0000332 per Lego head, and you get a brain-melting total of 3,373,494 Lego heads. Yep, just over 3.3 million little yellow faces, grinning in silent judgment from every corner of your high-tech ride. Forget leather interiors. This is luxury molded from childhood memories and bold, unnecessary math. Imagine rolling up to a charging station, popping the door open, and watching 3 million Lego heads spill out like you're driving a car full of tiny plastic spectators. So there you have it. To completely stuff a Tesla Model 3 with Lego heads, you'd need a plastic population of over 3 million. How many Lego heads to fill the inside of a volcano? Stick around to the end. This one's erupting with plastic math. You're hiking past a giant, dormant volcano. No smoke, no lava, just an empty magma chamber that, for some reason, makes you wonder, how many Lego heads would it take to fill this thing? Not Lego bricks, not Lego minifigs, just the heads, just the bald, blank-eyed yellow expressions. Because clearly you've been inside too long. Let's lay the groundwork. No lava involved. This is a lava-free scenario. A dry, hollow volcano. Think of it like a giant, pointy cereal bowl from hell. We'll use an average volcano's magma chamber size, about 10 cubic kilometers. That's 10 trillion liters, or if you're counting in Lego logic, 10 quadrillion cubic centimeters. Each Lego head is about 1 centimeter tall, 1 centimeter wide, and roughly 0.79 cubic centimeters in volume. Now, you can't pack Lego heads perfectly. They're roundish and rolly. So, we factor in 64% packing efficiency, the realistic space they'd occupy when dumped en masse. So, once the math clears the ash cloud, you get 8.15 quadrillion Lego heads. Yes, 8 quintillion 150 trillion little yellow noggins to plug up an entire volcano. Now imagine standing at the crater's edge, watching a never-ending flood of Lego heads pour in, layer after layer, until it's stuffed tighter than your closet before guests arrive. Would it be safe? Probably not. Would it be the strangest thing ever spotted on satellite imaging? Absolutely. So there you have it. 8.15 quadrillion Lego heads to fill a volcano, and not one of them will help you escape when the real lava shows up. How many Lego heads to reach the height of a giraffe? Stick around to the end. This one's got neck for days. You're at the zoo peacefully admiring a giraffe. It blinks at you like it owns the sky, towering above every other animal like a walking crane with spots. And then the intrusive thought hits. How many Lego heads would it take to match this thing's height? Because why admire wildlife when you could mentally replace it with plastic noggins? Let's break it down. An adult giraffe stands at around 5.5 meters tall. That's 550 centimeters of pure giraffe elegance. Now, your standard Lego head? A modest 1 centimeter tall, short, round, iconic. The default unit of tiny toy expression. So now for the stack attack. 550 centimeters divided by 1 centimeter per head equals 550 Lego heads. Yes, just 550 of those yellow, emotionless, everlasting skulls stacked head to head, and you've got yourself one full giraffe's worth of plastic height. That's a surprisingly manageable number. You wouldn't even need a warehouse. Just a steady hand, some super glue, and a deep disregard for structural integrity. Now imagine walking into the giraffe exhibit with a measuring stick made entirely of Lego heads. Who needs binoculars when you've got math? So there you have it, 550 Lego heads to match the height of an average giraffe. Necks are temporary. Lego heads are forever. Comment which expression your top Lego head would have. Smile, sunglasses, or total existential dread. How many Lego heads to reach the height of Mount Everest? Stick around to the end, because this climb is made of plastic and absurdity. So, you're at the base of Mount Everest. The wind is howling, snow swirling. Sherpa's looking very confused. And instead of climbing it like a normal person, you say, how many Lego heads would I need to stack to reach the top? Because clearly you came for vertical enlightenment via toy parts. Let's gear up for the journey. Mount Everest stands at 8,849 meters tall. That's 884,900 centimeters from base to peak. Now, your average Lego head is exactly 1 centimeter tall, a proud little noggin that's carried the expressions of thousands of minifigs for decades. So to reach the peak, you'd need to stack 884,900 Lego heads. That's right, nearly 885,000 yellow baldies, balanced one on top of the other, forming the world's most questionable monument to engineering and childhood nostalgia. Picture it. A vertical tower of heads piercing the Himalayan sky. No ropes, no gear, just eternal expressions of mild contentment reaching higher than any minifig has gone before. And let's be clear, you'd need some serious glue, wind resistance, and probably a permit from multiple countries, but mathematically, that's the number. So there you have it, 884,900 Lego heads to scale Mount Everest. No boots, no oxygen, just pure plastic perseverance. Comment which Lego face belongs at the top. How many Lego heads to weigh as much as a golden retriever? Stick around, because this one's cute, crunchy, and ridiculously specific. You're petting a golden retriever, fluffy, loyal, and roughly the size of your average friendly rug. And suddenly, like any dog-loving math maniac would ask, how many Lego heads would it take to match this good boy's weight? Let's fetch the numbers. A fully grown male golden retriever weighs around 32 kilograms. That's 70 pounds of pure sunshine and snack begging. Now a single Lego head? That shiny yellow noggin weighs in at about 0.5 grams. A tiny piece of hollow ABS plastic, roughly the weight of a paperclip sneezing. Convert that to kilograms, and you get 0.0005 kilograms per head. So, to match the weight of one dog, 64,000 Lego heads. That's right, 64,000 tiny smiling skulls and a pile the weight of a living, tail-wagging legend. You'd need a mountain of minifig minds just to balance the scale. And while one can fetch a brick, only the golden retriever will bring it back slobbery and proud. So, there you have it. 64,000 Lego heads to equal one very good boy. How many Lego heads would fit in the back of a garbage truck? Stick around, because today we're turning trash day into a full-blown toy avalanche. Picture this. The garbage truck pulls up on your street. It opens up its massive rear loader, and instead of trash, it's filled to the brim with nothing but Lego heads. Why? Who knows? But the real question is, how many of those little yellow noggins would it take? Let's dump the numbers. A typical rear-loading garbage truck has a load capacity of about 20 cubic meters, as that's 20,000 liters, or 20 million cubic centimeters, basically a rolling dumpster on steroids. Now your average Lego head is 1 centimeter tall and 0.9 centimeters in diameter. Think of it like a tiny plastic thimble. That gives us a volume of about 1.27 cubic centimeters. But because Lego heads don't stack like bricks, we're looking at 64% packing efficiency. That means the gaps between them eat up some space, like marbles in a jar. So how many Lego heads can you realistically cram in? About 20.1 million, that's right. 20,120,328 Lego heads packed into the back of a garbage truck. Enough smiling faces to start a tiny minifig revolution at the landfill. And in case you're wondering, yes, if this truck went over a bump, it would rain yellow skulls for days. So, there you have it. Over 20 million Lego heads to turn your neighborhood garbage route into a plastic apocalypse. How many Lego heads to replace the moon? Stick around, because this is one small step for math. One giant pile of plastic for minifig kind. Look up at the night sky. You see the moon, glowing quietly, influencing tides, werewolves, and first dates since forever. But what if it wasn't a moon? What if it was made entirely out of Lego heads? Let's launch into the numbers. The moon's volume is around 22 billion cubic kilometers. That's 22 followed by 18 zeros in cubic meters, aka not your average toy bin. Now the iconic Lego head, 1 centimeter tall, 0.9 centimeters wide, roughly 1.27 cubic centimeters per noggin. Cute, durable, woefully unprepared for lunar replacement. And since we're filling a sphere, not stacking bricks, we factor in 64% packing efficiency. No perfect fits in a planet-sized Lego ball pit. So, how many Lego heads would it take? Roughly 22.1 septillion, 22 septillion, 132 sextillion, 361 quintillion, 468 quadrillion, 976 trillion, 653 billion, 184 million, 45,260. Little bald yellow heads making up your new celestial neighbor. If you stood them end to end, they'd reach the moon and back millions of times. And yes, if it somehow maintained orbit, Earth would now have a face permanently looking back at us. Several trillion, actually. So there you have it. 22.1 septillion Lego heads to replace the moon. Is it possible? Absolutely not. Is it worth visualizing? You bet your minifig it is. Comment what expression the moon should wear. How many Lego heads to weigh as much as an elephant? Hold on to your bricks, we're about to go full safari mode. So there you are, at the zoo staring at the most majestic beast on 4 legs, the African elephant. Towering, thundering, and probably wondering why you're measuring it with plastic. Because today we're asking, how many Lego heads would it take to match the weight of this living tank? Let's break it down, one yellow noggin at a time. An adult African elephant weighs about 6,000 kilograms. That's 13,227 pounds of tusks, trunk, and thunderous foot stomps. Now your average Lego head, just 0.5 grams, basically a plastic whisper. That means we'd need 12 million Lego heads. That's 12 million tiny yellow cylinders, all silently grinning as they match one single elephant in mass. Imagine the pile. Imagine the sound. Imagine stepping on even one of them during cleanup. It's a zoo-sized tribute in pure plastic. And unless your storage closet is secretly the Lego warehouse, this is one elephant you're not outweighing anytime soon. So there you have it, 12 million Lego heads to weigh as much as an elephant. That's one epic build, one painful cleanup, and one unforgettable fact. Comment what animal we should outweigh next. How many Lego heads to weigh more than a fire truck? Sound the alarm, because today's emergency is made of tiny plastic faces. We're talking about the ultimate brick-based showdown, Lego versus machinery. And today, our challenger is a full-sized, steel-plated, water-blasting fire truck. Let's crank the sirens and the math. A typical fire truck weighs about 18,000 kilograms. That's nearly 40,000 pounds of metal, hoses, ladders, and flaming hero energy. Now let's look at one Lego head. That tiny yellow cylinder weighs just 0.5 grams, or 0.00005 kilograms. Barely enough to register on your kitchen scale. So how many of those cheerful minifig craniums would it take to tip the scale past a fire truck? 36,000,001. That's 36,000,001 Lego heads piled high, grinning wide, and declaring dominance over first responders everywhere. It's enough plastic noggins to fill a warehouse, and probably cause a small Lego landslide if you tried stacking them. And sure, they don't spray water or rescue kittens from trees, but they do win in quantity and commitment. So there you have it, 36,000,001 Lego heads to officially outweigh a fire truck. No hoses, no brakes, just a mountain of minifig madness. How many Lego heads and subscribe for more giant math for tiny toys.